Hello and welcome back to the 4-4-SHU podcast. Please, before we get into today's video, remember as always to like the video, comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at 4-4-SHU. Today's date of recording is the 6th of March on a Monday. As of yesterday, Liverpool have beaten Man United 7-0. But before we get into that, I'm going to move over to Reese for this week's quiz.
Let's go. Okay, no pressure, boys. You're about to enjoy the greatest football quiz ever made. So the first question is for Andy. So, Andy, what's the biggest win by any Premier League team this season?
This season? Wow. What a question.
Maybe it's maybe it seems too easy.
Yeah, I feel like it can't be Liverpool. The biggest win this season?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just going to go Liverpool, 7-0 against Man United. I don't know any others.
Incorrect. I will pass over to Luke.
Well, it's not the 6. It's not the 6-0.
No.
Are you talking in terms of how many goals per match, or are you talking about the biggest win?
Margin.
The biggest margin?
Biggest margin, okay. What a question.
Weird.
I was worried that you'd get it straight away. I'm glad you're having to think about it.
I don't know.
Do you want me to spill?
Yeah.
Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0.
I forgot that was the season.
yeah, of course,
yeah.
Oh,
I'm so glad you did. I thought that would be just obvious, but
So
that was this season?
that's not. Yeah, it was at the start of this season.
Oh, yeah.
So that's not even Liverpool's biggest home win.
No.
How mad is that?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Right. Question 2 for Luke. Who is PSG's all-time top scorer?
As of the other day,
As of okay.
it is Kylian Mbappe.
It is. He
Yeah.
scored his 201st goal to overtake Edinson Cavani.
We were talking about who he's overtook. We can't
Yeah, he
remember,
overtook
so,
Cavani. Because I gave the question to a friend back home last night when I was just doing a test run of the quiz. Very efficient. Yeah, he said Cavani. I was like, okay, I hope one of them says Cavani. But well done.
No, it's Mbappe.
It's 1-0 to Luke.
Reece, did they get your first question right when you were doing your test run?
No.
Good.
Yeah, so it's not just you, Andy. And not just Luke, obviously. So next question is for Andy. Who is the only London-based club that Chelsea have beaten this season?
Ooh.
Okay, that's a good question. I'm going to have to go through it. Didn't beat Arsenal, didn't beat Spurs. West Ham. West Ham's the answer.
Correct. It's 1-1. Okay, bit tense in here, isn't it? Right, so Luke,
Yeah.
a City question.
Okay.
Who was Manchester City's record European victory against?
Is it against Sporting 5-0?
Nope. I'll hand over to Andy.
Okay.
Oh, no, man.
Wait, what? As in margin again? Is that the answer?
Yeah,
Okay,
margin.
margin. I'm going to go like Copenhagen.
Oh, wait, no.
Or can it go back to Luke? Or?
It's your
please.
quiz.
Yeah,
please.
it's going back to Luke, I'm afraid.
Is it 7-0 against Schalke?
Correct.
I was there.
Yes.
How
What
did
year
I
was
forget?
that?
Oh, that was Foden's first, 1920, I think.
I think it's 18-19.
Or 18-19.
I might be wrong, actually, but
Nah, I think it might be the purple kit.
the purple kit.
Yeah, I think it was the purple one. It was just.
Wait, you
before
played in a
COVID.
purple kit?
I didn't
at
even
home?
know you had a purple kit.
Oh no, the year Liverpool won the league, where it was like this, but it was like all this was purple.
Oh, right, okay. God,
Just
Liverpool
rubbish.
on the brain.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, it's the one to define that season. The
Right.
COVID season.
Yeah. Ugh. Eliminated
Well,
it
the
from
half
my
one.
brain.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have as well since Liverpool won the league.
Yes.
So, question 3. It's not question 3. I don't even know what question we're on.
I think
Next
it's 5.
question is 4.
Okay.
Because it's 2-1 to Luke. I should have clocked. Anyway, Andy,
Yeah.
how many Spanish managers are there currently in the Premier League?
Ooh.
What I'll do, if you get it wrong, and then Luke gets it wrong, I'll give it to the person who's closest.
Okay, fair.
Just to speed things up a bit.
Spanish. Okay, I'm just going to have to guess then, like 5.
Nope. Not 5.
I've got 4.
In mind.
Yeah. I'll say
Incor-
4. So I'll say
The
4.
point goes to Andy, it's 6.
Oh.
So it's Arteta, Guardiola, Emery, Lopetegui,
Emery.
the Southampton caretaker boss. Sorry,
Right.
I've had to
Garcia.
read it. And Gracia.
Nice.
So the point goes to Andy, 2-2. Equaliser. Right, Luke, I love this question. Which of the Scottish clubs has won the most European trophies?
Trick question, isn't it? Or is it? Are you double bluffing?
What do you mean trick question?
Is it trick? Like, is it the obvious answer?
You
Well,
can't
I
answer
can't
that.
say
Reece.
that, can I?
No.
It might be. So no.
Integrity.
Sometimes I like to make
Okay.
it
Okay.
obvious,
okay.
but
Do you know what? Yeah. Why not? Let's go. Rangers.
incorrect.
Oh.
Well,
I'll
I'm
pass
going
it
to
to
go
Andy.
obscure then.
Go
I'm
on.
gonna... Aberdeen.
Correct. Aberdeen have the most European trophies with 2. Celtic and Rangers only have 1.
Nice.
Yeah, both won. I think under Alex Ferguson, which got him the United job. That's why they have 2 stars on their badge.
Oh. I didn't know
Um,
they had 2 stars on the badge.
Right, so it's now Andy's retaking the lead.
3-2.
3-2. Right, so next question for Andy. Chance to double his lead. No pressure. True or false? A Croatian has played in each of the last 10 Champions League finals.
Okay. True.
Nope, it's false. Lovren was on the bench when Liverpool beat Spurs in the final. Fun fact, there's been a Croatian in the squad of the last 11.
I was going to say...
Because Modric has been in like half of them.
That's a bit of a ratty question, Reece.
I know, but it's true or false. You know, it's a 50-50 chance.
I'll remember this when I do my quiz, Reece.
Oh. I think I've already been shafted on a lot of these quizzes, but all right, Luke.
Yeah.
True or false question for yourself?
Okay.
Only 2 teams have won a World Cup final playing in red.
True.
It's false.
Oh.
Only one has. England.
Wait, playing in red?
Oh shit, Spain. have,
Spain,
haven't they?
yeah.
Wait, did Spain wear red in that final that they won then?
I don't know.
Probably.
Look, blame 442, one of the biggest football magazines in the world.
Well, they're probably right. They probably didn't then.
Yeah.
We might have been in their away kit.
Yeah.
Look, this is awkward, isn't it? Right. Well, I can't give you the point.
No.
So, good job you didn't get it right. Otherwise, I'd have. Anyway, moving on. Question is for Andy. Which goalkeeper has the most penalty saves in Premier League history? The temptation is to drop a clue here.
Well,
Is real, but I'm not going to.
oh, come on, Reece.
Oh, okay. They're currently playing in the Premier League.
Okay. Most Premier League penalty saves.
Yeah.
I will go for Fabianski.
Correct. Andy doubles his lead. Okay, so Luke, no pressure. There's a lot resting on this. Which team has the all-time championship points record? I think Andy knows it.
I do know it.
Norwich. It's not Norwich.
Oh,
is
good,
it?
good guess. I believe they're like 3rd, but no,
Okay.
it's not correct. Go on, Andy.
Reading.
Okay, Andy wins the quiz.
Well done.
Well,
First dub.
is that the first time you? Oh, we actually
Yeah.
host
Yeah,
it
'cause
most
he
weeks.
hosts
Yeah,
it.
yeah, of course.
You've only done like 2.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so you've got a good record then.
What's the tiebreaker, just for
Yeah,
curiosity?
let's say that as well.
Just curiosity.
How many ex-Forest players play for Sheffield United?
I'll guess 4.
I'll guess 8.
No.
3.
No.
Okay, what's the answer?
5.
4 was a good
Yeah,
guess.
sorry. But,
Go on, list them as well.
All right, so Ben Osborne, Jack Robinson, Billy Sharp, Anel Ahmedhodzic, and Max Lowe.
Nice.
I nearly forgot that. That would have made it quite bad, wouldn't it? But that's the quiz.
Well done, Reece. on
Yeah,
the
good quiz, Reece.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Andy. Commiserations, Luke.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And talking of congratulations, they were definitely in order at Anfield last night.
Ooh, that was hilarious.
Okay.
Well, well, that was incredible. The fact it was 1-0 at half time as well.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. See, I just want to make one point. The thing with United, Casemiro doesn't play well. United don't play well. He carries
Yeah, I
that
didn't see
team, and that
Casemiro.
proves it. Because Casemiro had a mare. He
Yeah,
got
he was
tackled.
ghosted.
I think he got tackled leading up to either the second or the third goal. Got completely skinned on one of them. And again, Liverpool caught United out because there was so much space on the counter.
There's so much space.
Because Casemiro, I don't know where he went. So big, unbelievable win for Liverpool.
They're used to battering United now.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, did you see the stat that was that in the last 10 games at Anfield, the aggregate score of the fixture of Man United v Liverpool, or Liverpool v Man United, is 36-2
What the hell?
Nice.
in
That's
the last
wild.
10 league games.
That's that I guess obviously Anfield I know people bitch about the Anfield atmosphere, but when they're playing a rival or a European night, it is a hard place to go. Not for Real Madrid, but no, fair play.
I won't put it down to atmosphere. I just think again they're used to that pitch, the home players.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's so,
they're used to the.
It's fit for
And obviously they had a great.
style.
Yeah, of course. And it's good for them that Darwin Núñez is finding the net now. Cody Gakpo, what a performance from him. Salah, I think it just Liverpool's attacking players all turned up. I think United at the back had a mare, Martinez, probably the worst I've seen him play.
Yeah.
De Gea, I think there's a couple of them he should be saving at least.
Yeah.
But no, United, that's a big dent to their title challenge. That was a chance to really, make a statement, winning at a hard place to go. I still think they're in the title race, but I think if Casemiro's form's about to drop off, and what a loss like that can do to a team's mentality as well, it's going to be a big test in the coming weeks to see how they respond.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're in the title race anymore.
No.
And
I don't think they ever were. I've gone on and said it.
I mean, they
What
were in the
Charlie will
title
think.
race. They were close enough to be regarded in the title
Yeah,
race.
no, I think
but-
there was definitely a case to be made. But if you can't come up big in those games, like they had momentum behind them, they've just won a trophy. They're on a good run. Liverpool not having their best season, albeit they have slowly started to pick up points. I think Liverpool needed that just after the Madrid game. They've needed a big result
Yeah.
and I think that puts them up to 5th now. Newcastle being overtaken. I think that puts Liverpool in a good place to get a European spot. Maybe an outside push for top 4, but
Oh, I don't think it's an outside.
you think they can get top 4?
Oh, easily,
I
yeah.
think
I
they
just-
can get top 4.
I just think,
I've been saying it for a
I
while.
just think you look at how fragile they've been at times this season. Do they have the consistency? But yeah, that's a big way to kickstart some form.
Yeah, true. Well, the point I wanted to make as well is in the 2021 season, the one just after COVID, when Liverpool looked just as vulnerable then. They lost at home to Burnley, lost at home to Chelsea. They lost
Yeah.
5 Anfield games in a row.
They lost 7-2 to Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that season, yeah. And they still got top 4 that year. I think they've just got the knack
So turning
of
up when it matters.
grinding out
Yeah.
results, getting the points. I'd be surprised if they didn't get top 4.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
This also made me think this game was a massive turning point in terms of, I think Man United's league title's over. Liverpool's top 4 looks not secure, but they're in a very good position for it. But then I was thinking, how much longer can Klopp be at Liverpool for? Has it not run its race almost?
It's possible. I mean, I remember someone mentioned something about 7th season syndrome that Klopp gets. It went to
Yeah.
shit at Dortmund in his 7th season, and we're seeing the same thing.
Is that what he's in at Liverpool now, his 7th season?
Yeah,
Yeah, it will
time
be.
flies.
Well, at least, unlike Mourinho, he doesn't only have 3 seasons in him.
No.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I feel like Klopp's got himself into a position where there is a margin for error because he's done so much with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Like compared to the position they were in, there's a lot of debate over investment at Liverpool. They've not got the same backing as other clubs around them.
No.
And I think Klopp's done that good of a job that even when he has a poor season, there's a bit of leniency. It's like they scraped top 4 in that season you were talking about, Andy.
Yeah.
But then the following season they win, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. Okay, it wasn't, and they got to a Champions League final.
And they were in the title race.
Yeah, they're in the title race. So I think Klopp clearly has it in him to bounce back. He won't leave Liverpool.
I was just about to argue the
This
other
season.
point. I just think, I couldn't see him getting sacked because he's got so much credit in the bank, but how happy can he be with his legacy? He's done a lot there, but he's always finished second to Manchester City, bar one season. If they get top 4 this year, this will be the second season they've scraped top 4.
Yeah, maybe it's tainting his legacy.
Not tainting his legacy. I just feel like he's too determined to be happy with, we got 4th, and
that.
Mm.
Yeah,
the league's as competitive as it's ever been.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this is his last year. I don't know what his contract situation's like.
I think it's 2024.
Okay, so maybe next season's his last year, but I don't know. I just thought about it earlier.
He is leaving end of his contract.
Yeah, he will
apparently,
leave.
has said.
The thing is, though, there will be a big job waiting for him. So it's like,
Oh, any job, pretty much.
if I was
Hotel.
Klopp, I would probably leave now, like end of this season, just because I think there's a better opportunity elsewhere. But
again, if you're Liverpool, who'd you bring in? That's what I always ask when you say about
Steven Gerrard. No, that was always the plan, wasn't it? But then he went to Villa,
plan.
and he's been linked with PSG. Steven Gerrard. Really
yeah,
weird.
that's outrageous.
Really weird. But
where is he at the minute? Is he just?
He's available. Yeah.
He's watching Match of the Day on Saturdays. That's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing. He's listening to 4-4 Shoot. The Steven Gerrard plan's kind of been derailed a bit. I can't think of who would go to Liverpool, but again, in a year's time, who knows?
Yeah, they'd be able to attract anyone.
Yeah, Pochettino gets linked with every job ever.
Yeah. And obviously this game was Man United's joint heaviest Premier League defeat ever, which just really puts into perspective how big a win it was for Liverpool.
Yeah, the last time they lost 7-0 was in 1931 to Wolves. There's a fun fact for you. It was going to be a quiz question, but them plans got foiled a bit. But anyway, basically it came up on Match of the Day whilst we were all watching Match of the Day.
In the library.
On
a Sunday.
Yeah. That's
cool. 10 o'clock at night.
How cool are our lives? Sadly I couldn't include that.
I literally don't even see it though.
Yeah, but we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that. But, I mean, there's one last thing that I want to say about the game, and I don't know if you guys even saw it, but it's actually pro Man United, which you might not like, Luke. Well, it's pro Rafael Varane. I don't know if you saw, but post-match, he was the only player he was telling all the other players, go to the away end, go and clap the fans.
I have a lot of time for that.
Yeah, it's easy to go and clap the fans after you've won a big game or whatever, but after getting beat 7-0
at your rivals.
How many Man United fans were still there? Maybe 1,000, let's say, for example. Those fans deserve that, and
definitely.
It's just one of those things. It's so easy to do, and it's so frustrating when the players just go straight down the tunnel. I don't know if Ten Hag went to the away fans or not, but I just saw online that Varane was the one saying go over to that away end. And clap them.
I think a player like Varane, who's won everything, World Cup, Champions Leagues, he's got that mentality. He's clearly got the mentality leadership mentality, well. And. That's really good. And after it's losing any game 7-0, never mind to your rivals when you're in a title race.
Yeah.
I think that's when the fans want you to, communicate with them the most.
And it's so simple to do as well. Just go clap them. Throw your shirt in the crowd.
Yeah, it takes 10 seconds.
They might throw it back.
Like a Wobie shirt got thrown back to him.
Oh, poor guy. But
I don't know. I just thought that was something I saw online that was quite positive.
Yeah, worth mentioning.
Yeah, and so then moving on to the teams in the actual title race, I guess Arsenal's win against Bournemouth just screams to me that they're going to win the league.
I think the thing is, I watched the last 5 minutes of that game, and when it's 2-2, a couple of years ago, Arsenal would not have won that game.
Yeah, exactly.
To have the mentality to keep pushing. The corner team was really good, even though Reece Nelson was left completely unmarked on the edge of the box.
Yeah.
It's a great finish. Significant at both ends of the table, may I add. Bournemouth, of course, scored after 9 seconds, the second fastest goal in Premier League history.
Yeah, what a kick-off that was.
And then the earliest goal of the season and the latest goal of the season, fun fact for you.
Yeah.
That to me just screams, like you say, Andy, I think that puts them in the driver's seat. Just because they're coming up big when it matters. They've scored quite a few late winners this season, Villa, United.
Yeah.
They were 2-0 down as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, 2-0 down.
And they came back, and it's just you can't, yes, they lost to City, but they're winning the games they should win.
It is true.
Even when they're, looks like they won't.
And I don't know if you remember, Luke, you should do, but when we were sat at home on Saturday at 3 p.m, and it was 90th minute Arsenal, I was still scared. I was still saying to you, I wouldn't be surprised if they go and nick it.
You did.
And they do, because that's what teams do that are challenging, and like you're saying, they have faced a lot of adversity and they keep coming back.
Yeah,
I'm worried. I really want Man City to win the league, but I just don't know. I'd be surprised if they did at this point.
Yeah, the thing with City is they seem to always have a hiccup in them against smaller teams, like they drew to Forest, they
lost to
Brentford, and it's I think City, when they're at their best, are the better team.
Yeah.
But Arsenal have that consistency.
They have the grit at the minute.
They have the grit. Yes, they lost to City. They've still got another game against City, haven't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, and I think they might even lose that. But the title winners are consistent.
Yeah.
It's not just the big games.
And there's 5 points in it at the moment, so even if they lost
there'd still
game,
be a
which is at the Etihad, I think.
I reckon it'll go down to the last day.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Pep made the point though about the hunger of the players, didn't he, Luke? few weeks ago saying that like Arsenal have the hunger because
they do have the hunger.
They don't.
They've not won.
Yeah, they
well,
don't.
apart
Obviously,
from
Zinchenko
and Jesus have, but and even Zinchenko looked hungry against Bournemouth. Even though he's won it 3 or 4 times,
And
he still wants it.
You can tell that bringing in Jesus and Zinchenko, who've won it, has almost added sort of a winning mentality, experience in there. I mean, Zinchenko, again, I've said it before on this podcast, but again, the last game, the guy's heat map is insane. The guy's not a fullback. The guy plays every position on the pitch, and I think that should not be underestimated.
I was going to say, I don't know if I said it on the podcast. I meant to say it last week, but I never actually got a chance. But again, with Zinchenko, there's a video of him at the start of the season when he just signed for Arsenal, and it's him in training, him and Jesus compared to the rest of the players. And they're just miles ahead, miles more work rate than the rest of them.
Yeah. And they know what it takes.
They know what it takes. Yeah, exactly. So they brought everyone up. They've been like, come on.
Yeah. That's the thing. The influence they have.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've always been concerned about the fact that, like, bit of a separate point, but obviously going back to Jesus, he's injured at the moment. Mm-hmm. My only concern with Arsenal is striker. Nketiah's all right, but
they've got Trossard as a false nine.
Yeah. But I just think the lack of an outright striker, which Jesus brought to them.
Yeah.
Well, even Jesus isn't really an all.
No, but at least he was a consistent source of goals up front. I still think Arsenal win the league, but I think if I had to play devil's advocate and say why they might not, they need Jesus back.
A striker.
Yeah. But yeah, just a counterpoint to make things a bit more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'd agree though that Jesus has this winning mentality. Obviously, he won a lot of Man City, but as a bit part player, but I see it with Zinchenko. I see the passion.
With Zinchenko, but obviously,
I just don't know if I'd put Jesus in the same category.
He was scoring at a decent rate. I just think he's better than what they currently have. That's my main point. So just a small point, I know, but
and here's a point I want to raise. I saw a lot of people online saying that Arsenal over celebrated. I think that's a bad opinion.
Guarantee you the people who say that have never been to a football match in their life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, you've scored a last minute winner.
You were
when
2-0
down.
Yeah.
And to be honest, any last minute goal, you should be able to celebrate. Like, again, I don't think these people have been to football matches before.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a mid-table clash between two teams that aren't playing for anything that season. If you're 2-0 down and you win 3-2, you celebrate.
Especially like the Prem is tight in all areas. Yeah. Every point counts. So to get a win like that, whoever's saying that, just shut up.
Yeah. However, it would be good to look back on if Man City go on to win the league title. To look back at those scenes of Jorginho running on the pitch. You've obviously seen the picture where the Bournemouth players are on the floor and all the Arsenal. It'd be good if that all meant nothing in the end.
It'd be mental, wouldn't it? But again, that's a game that'll be looked back on. Like, I mean, that's 3 last-minute Arsenal winners I can think of now. So, it's mad how much of a difference they could make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm moving on to the much smaller team in North London, Tottenham. Since Ben has been on the podcast,
think about that.
Their form has gone down a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start with the Wolves loss, and then we can move on to the Sheffield United loss after.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But so obviously Wolves beat Spurs, which is big for the relegation battle, which we'll get onto later. But in that game, I'd say Spurs were unlucky. They hit the bar twice.
Yeah.
The Adama Traore goal was quite unusual, that he was like leaping in the air and shot. You don't really see things like that. But another thing that I've been thinking about of Tottenham recently is when Ben came on and he was talking about Conte, I've started to notice it a lot more online as well, that Tottenham fans don't have the love for Conte that I just assumed they did, because I assume everyone buys into what he does and what he says.
I guess I call it delusion. I think some Spurs fans were expecting an outside title push just because Conte was there. They had a decent window.
Yeah.
I never thought they'd win the league, for the record, but I think
Charlie did.
Charlie, of course Charlie did. But yeah, obviously the thing is, Conte's brand of football is quite jarring to watch, and if you're not getting results with it, you're going to struggle to get people on side.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still in the top 4 conversation. Like, they're not a million miles away from. They could finish top 4.
I think it might be unrealistic expectations. But weirdly enough, Conte was nominated for Manager of the Month.
Yeah, well, that was all his assistant manager, wasn't it?
Yeah, he wasn't even there. So I feel a bit peaked for the assistant manager. But But yeah, Tottenham. It's what's the Chiellini or is it Bonucci quote? It's the history of Tottenham.
It is the history of the Tottenham.
Yeah, it's just how it goes at Spurs. They're a club that have a lot of resources, but they just don't have that little extra bit of quality in them. It's just going to be a top 4 push.
Yeah, I mean as well, Son's drop off has been so noticeable this year that I feel like if he was producing at the levels that we've seen him produce for the last few seasons, they would probably be where Man United are in the league table.
Yeah.
So something like that. So then you'd be thinking about it completely differently. But, so obviously, yeah, I'd say the Wolves game, they were unlucky, but all three of us went to the Sheffield United FA Cup game against Tottenham.
Yeah.
And they were far from unlucky. They were so average in that game.
They were not average, they were poor.
They were poor.
Yeah.
Sheffield United were the better team. I thought after the first half, they went in 0-0, and I was like, you know what? Sheffield have got it in them to nick this. Like, they've got chances in them. Spurs hadn't really created anything at all, from what I can recall. Didn't have much of the ball. And the thing is, that was the FA Cup was Spurs' only real chance of a trophy this season.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they'd be way more up for it, and they just didn't. There was
They just didn't produce.
No, it was terrible.
Because, yeah, obviously both teams were B teams, which was a bit
Yeah.
surprising anyway. I thought Sheffield United would go as strong as possible, but then...
They brought on key players late on.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't start with them, did they?
Well, you say that, but as they saw, Sheffield United lost to Blackburn with their strongest 11 allegedly.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show, I don't know.
Yeah, but at the same time,
What goes to show what?
it's that it's not always
It's not always
linear
a case
thing.
of,
But it was when Sander Berge came on, Ilman and Jai. Arguably, I'd say they're two best players, especially Berge.
I'd say so,
and that's when they got the goal. They saw out the game, I thought, expertly. Obviously, Kane came on, had a big chance at the end that he
should
messed up spectacularly, I must say. Son went on a decent run, again got tackled, but I think...
Richarlison was okay first half.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was. I remember him skying a shot right in front of us.
Oh, yeah, he was. But the thing is, compared to the other Spurs players, he was getting in the positions, but I just don't think he was offering much. Again, what a flop. No goals all season. They paid, what, 60 million?
No league goals.
No Premier League
No
goals,
Premier League goals. Oh, okay, but still, I think Richarlison's really been a disappointment.
Yeah.
Spurs should have done a lot better.
Yeah, it's funny because a signing like Richarlison is something that Spurs would never do. They'd never bring in competition for positions they're already really strong in.
Yeah, it was that's the thing. I saw that and I was like, okay, Spurs have depth.
Yeah.
If Kulusevski, Son or Kane are struggling, you've got Richarlison to bring on. It just hasn't worked.
I do like Richarlison though. I have to put that on record.
When Everton.
Yeah, Everton. Even when Spurs beat Chelsea though, Richarlison got subbed off and he was annoyed. He was visibly annoyed that he's getting subbed off. I've not done anything today. That's a great mentality.
He has a great mentality. It's just, he's been brought in as an extra source of goals.
Yeah, and he's not produced.
Not delivered. And to win trophies, you can't just have your best players performing. You need, when they drop off a bit, which always happens, you need someone else to sort of take the reins a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, sticking on Sheffield United, the Njai goal produced some unbelievable limbs for an unbelievable goal. In the moment, I didn't actually appreciate how good a goal that was, because there was a slight deflection to start with. The ball bounced back to him, but then the low centre of gravity to get through that Spurs defence and beat Foster at his near post, which is probably poor goalkeeping, but
it's
just unbelievable.
He wasn't like he had space. The defenders were closing in.
Oh yeah, Davison Sanchez was getting turned.
Yeah. But Njai is a player I've always rated.
Same.
I remember because we played Sheffield United 4 times last season, and every game, aside from Morgan Gibbs-White, Njai was a headache and a half to play against. And I think if Sheffield don't go up this season, he'll get a Prem move. He's 22, I think.
Yeah, he's 22.
Yeah.
No, he's definitely done enough to get a Prem move.
Yeah. So he'll be playing Premier League football next season, whether it's with Sheffield or not, we don't know. But he's too good to play.
Maybe Burnley.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's actually not.
It's not a bad shout. I know we were linked with him, but we'll see what happens. But great player.
Great player, former Boreham Wood Academy.
You love mentioning that.
Well, he was. He played for Academy.
That's class.
Yeah.
What
he also went to the World Cup with Senegal.
He did, yeah. So he's
Yeah.
got quite a CV.
Nah, he has got a good CV, yeah.
22.
Nice.
But again, I thought Sheffield as a whole were great. I thought Jack Robinson. Sorry, I've got to mention the next Forest player. I thought he had a really good game.
I've got to mention too.
But yeah, just an all-round good performance. You could tell that they really wanted. I think Sheffield wanted it more.
Yeah.
There was more desire. They got up for the occasion. Spurs, I think, took them for granted a bit. There was definitely a sense of arrogance, maybe, and that was their downfall.
Yeah. I just got to mention. We got to mention the man of the match, number
Yeah.
22, Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle.
Ran his socks off. He was playing a 6, an 8, and a 10 throughout the match. I noticed he was dropping back, keeping that number 8 role really well. But then on the attack would kind of go to a bit of a 10, and sort of
versatile.
very versatile. You know, wasn't scared of going in for a tackle against these Premier League players.
Yeah.
You know,
Getting stuck in.
Yeah. He was dead good.
Yeah, he was. I mean, was it him on the end of the big chance at the end of the first half? I'm not even going to criticise him because the fact he got on at the end of the best chance is impressive in itself.
I think it was.
Yeah. Obviously, he could have done better, but I guess it shows that he was getting in the right places.
Yeah.
And to be honest, after that chance, I was like, okay, getting that at the end of the first half, going into the dressing room knowing that we've created a big chance.
Yeah.
That must have done good for like their momentum.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, great performance.
Yeah, well, one other thing to mention in that game, I don't know if either of you were even there when the stadium announcer announced it, but before the match, the Sheffield United Stadium announcer did a little dig at Wrexham, saying like, "This is what you could have had, Wrexham, in terms of a game against Spurs."
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah, you two were in the concourse.
Wow.
I think. But I thought that was very Tim Pot.
To make a dig at a non-league club is a bit like.
Yeah, that's
bad. It's a bit. I don't see the point in that.
Especially like 3 weeks after you've played them.
Yeah, it's like
move
why
on.
are you letting a National League side that you knocked out?
Yeah.
Like that to me just shows that you're rattled by what?
Yeah, because there's been a lot of talk about that. The Billy
Wrexham
Sharp.
weren't there anyway. Like no Wrexham fans would be there to hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not on telly.
Yeah, it was on telly.
Yeah, it was.
Well,
on
no,
telly.
but him saying it wouldn't be on telly.
No.
Probably not, but yeah,
Just a bit weird.
It's a
Isn't
bit
That's a bit
embarrassing, really. And because there's lots of talk about Billy Sharp recently that he was giving it big to the Wrexham players, but like, come on, you're a stadium announcer, like you're a professional. Like.
But to be even Billy Sharp, like, I don't get it. You've not got anything to prove to Wrexham. Like, you're already, I think, 70-something places above them. Like,
Yeah, well, there was a lot of talk on what Wrexham were talking about on social media, but I don't actually know all the context for that.
I think the
but
debate is that obviously Wrexham have had a lot of investment, and with like Salford City as well. I think some people find the whole investing into non-league sides a bit like, I don't know.
Well, it could be frustrating if you're competing against.
Yeah,
them,
but Sheffield United,
United,
they're no threat to Sheffield United. Not right now, anyway. Stay tuned. But no, I find that I don't rate that. I wouldn't like it if my stadium announcer did that.
No, not my stadium announcer.
No way.
But yeah, okay. Well then, moving on. Another big result of the weekend was Brighton's 4-0 win over West Ham, demolishing them.
I'm a bit annoyed about that because West Ham beat Forest 4-0 last week. And now they're losing. David Moyes on the brink of being sacked.
Yeah.
That's considering he got them to a European semi-final last season. It's amazing how quick things.
Yeah, it just shows you how quickly football moves on, doesn't it? Because their fans were singing, "You're getting sacked in the morning" to David Moyes.
Yeah. Their own manager,
which I don't really like.
Yeah, our club's done it before.
Yeah, but you've not done it to a manager that's done
so
all
that
much
for.
to
Yeah,
your
no,
club.
I don't really rate that.
No.
But I guess they are in a relegation battle. I don't think they'll go down. They've got a good enough team to stay up. But
yeah, but the results they're getting recently, and so I can see why they want him out. But I just think, like, come on, show the guy a bit of respect.
Yeah, of course. Rant on Twitter by all means. Boo at the full-time whistle.
However, at the end of the day, it's nothing to do with me. Like, West Ham fans, do what you want to do.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't sing that. If
it's a good talking point. Obviously, let's not forget. It's not acceptable, but Brighton are. They're on smoke at the moment. They are so good.
Even with the second choice keeper in that, still get
a
clean sheet.
Still get a clean sheet. He actually made a really good save as well at one point.
Jed Steer.
No, it's Jason Steele.
Oh,
Jed Steer plays for Villa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. I only know that because we went on loan to Luton Town last season.
Massive.
Anyway, it was a great performance from Brighton. They're so good this season. Might be an outside bet for Europa.
I'd love them to get a bit of European footy though.
Yeah, no, they'd bring a lot to European football.
Yeah.
'Cause, it's not like their players. They've developed all their players. They signed them really cheap. They always sell for like big money as well. They're such a well-run club.
Yeah, they are very well.
And it shows up Graham Potter a bit, as we've talked about.
I
a lot.
don't know if it does necessarily. This is some pro Potter.
Ooh.
For his Brighton time, nothing to do with Chelsea, but I think he's definitely laid the foundations. Because if you look at, he took over from Chris Hughton, who you're not a big fan of, Reece.
What?
But like they were just scraping, staying up.
Yeah.
He comes over, solidifies them, gets them playing attacking football. Apparently, I've not seen it at Chelsea, but anyway,
they played good attacking football at Brighton, hipster ball.
But was anyone actually watching it? I don't think so. But so yeah, like the new manager, I don't actually know how you say his name, but
De Zerbi.
De Zerbi, okay, yeah, the Italian geezer. He's done an amazing job, but I think if he was the one taking over from Chris Hughton, they wouldn't be doing as well as they are now.
No.
Well, no, obviously when Potter took over, at that point, De Zerbi didn't have any experience, so...
No, but I'm saying if
Chris Hughton of now took over.
Who knows, to be honest?
Yeah, who knows, but...
again, like, I think Potter...
I think you can definitely give Potter credit
he
for
gave
Brighton.
these young players chances. He established them. Obviously, De Zerbi's established a few in himself, Matoma, Ferguson. But I think, to be honest, Brighton just have a knack for finding good managers, good scouting system, and it's paying off. And to be honest, I think they're going to be in the Premier League for years to come.
Yeah, they ain't going down.
They ain't going anywhere. And fair play to them.
Win it back next year when they're relegated.
Yeah.
But for a smaller club like Brighton, who don't really again have much
prestige.
No. Fair play to them.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Yeah, and the Matoma hype train is real.
It is.
Another great cameo.
Good. Did you know he like in his earlier years during training he'd like attach a GoPro to himself, and he'd record himself, and then he'd look at what he could improve on. He'd analyze himself, what the players around him do, and that's just I think I might be wrong. I think he uploaded them to YouTube, but
we'll have to check them
out. Yeah, some content.
Watch that after you've watched this episode.
After you've watched this episode. But again, I could be wrong, but I know he did put a GoPro on himself.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
It shows that
he's just having an unbelievable season as well.
Yeah. Great player.
And like you were saying earlier, Brighton is just the perfect place to develop as a player. Like Evan Ferguson, he's had a great platform.
Yeah.
As a former Dublin's original Bohemians player, it's great to see. But the thing is, you don't want to put too much pressure on Ferguson, for example, because he has had a great season. I think he's played like 9 games or something, let's say. But he is currently Brighton's number 1 first choice striker. But I mean, I've seen this before with like Michael Obafemi, who's now at Burnley and doing well. But he had this hype around him when he was at Southampton. He scored at Old Trafford, I remember. But
yeah, no, of course, like
you don't want to put too much pressure on them.
No, you don't. I think young players, they'll have a good burst of form, and then everyone will jump on them. And I think that pressure gets to them.
Definitely.
Price tags and stuff when you're linked. I think that could be their downfall. So I think you can acknowledge someone's a good player, but don't instantly go, world class.
No. Because I think Ferguson is literally 18 and he's getting linked with like Chelsea. Or
just slow down.
Just stay at Brighton.
Stay at Brighton for a couple
have next
of
season as your breakout season.
Obviously,
this is a breakout season.
Yeah, get the number 9 shirt.
Yeah, just
bang goals.
Yeah, look to establish yourself.
20 goals in a season.
Yeah.
Potentially.
I don't think it's unrealistic.
How many 19-year-olds score 20 Premier League goals?
I don't know. Michael Owen might have done it, but
yeah. So we're going back 20 years. 20 goals is unrealistic, but
but he'll get
maybe 50.
I don't know. Have a good season.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll just play football and just take it from there. But yeah, so I mean, I guess that's all. Oh, one other thing about West Ham is, I just can't believe they're down there. Like after their season last year.
Yeah, it's not like it's not because sometimes like a team will have a good season, and then they'll sell someone big or they'll be
they strengthen.
But they look stronger on paper. Obviously, football is not played on paper, but
it's played on grass.
But like, it's not. It's so weird. Apparently, Declan Rice isn't having his best season.
No, he wants to leave.
But he wants to leave.
Yeah, he's wanted to leave for ages.
I think he'll be gone in the summer.
Did you see what he came out and said in his post-match interview?
Didn't he like have a dig?
Yeah, he said that like, oh, if you're a critic, you're obviously not good enough to still be playing in the Premier League, which I think was a dig at Roy Keane, but it's like Roy Keane's like 50.
Yeah.
And he's won so many Premier Leagues, like.
Yeah. I
thought Keane would be like one of his idols, considering the position.
To be fair, Keane has praised him a lot in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably also been a lot of digs though, because obviously Declan Rice played for the Republic of Ireland and then switched to England.
True.
So I think there's a lot of bad blood there. But like, come on, Rice, just don't dig out that. Like, because your point shouldn't be that, oh, if you've got a good opinion, your opinion's only valid if you're still playing football. It's like, no, you could be a former player, know everything about the game. Like Alex Ferguson knows a lot. Just because he's not a current manager doesn't mean
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's invalid.
I was trying to find the quote, but I can't find it.
Oh, okay, but that was just something I picked up on.
Yeah.
Rice has obviously got a very good mentality from what I've seen, but just don't dig.
Yeah, that's very out of character.
Yeah,
but I guess when things aren't going your way, you can say stuff in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, and things can get blown out.
Yeah. But very, very surprising.
Yeah, stick to your Uncle Ben commercials.
Oh, God.
Just never featured in one, has he?
He has.
Has he?
Yeah, there's one in the mall. It says Rice Baby, and it's him eating some Uncle Ben's rice.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen that. I'm going to have to check that out. But, so, I mean, moving on, Reece, and this is where we'll just let you cook. Nottingham Forest's draw against Everton.
Yeah. Huge game. I don't think, especially for Everton, who are in the relegation zone. If they won that, they'd have a lift off. And Sean Dyche, he's been at every Forest home game pre-Everton move, and it showed. Because I think I have to give a lot of credit to Everton. The way they set up, the way they were winning second balls. I thought that as a unit they played really well. They scored the penalty earlier on, which Damari Gray scored, and that gave them the confidence. And we really struggled. The game was played like a final. I must say that. Like the intensity, you had players squaring up to each other. I think there was about 8 yellow cards in the game.
Yeah, 8 yellows.
And the thing is though, even if you're playing well, in a game of that magnitude, the City Ground atmosphere is always going to be a team's downfall, as is Brennan Johnson, who I have to give some prop to. I think it's 5 goals in 4 home games for him now. Because at the start of the season, he wasn't being played much. He was being played every game despite not being on great form. And there was a lot of question marks over him, but Cooper's continued to play him. And, he's not that strong, but he doesn't let it faze him that he gets out-muscled a lot. And no matter how we're playing, you just know that you're one Brennan Johnson burst of pace away from a big chance. He sat Rodri down in the City game. Sorry, Luke. In the lead up to our goal, he really is going to be, I think, the key piece to us staying up if we do stay up. But a point isn't ideal. We wanted 3, but it keeps us 4 points adrift. It remains so tight down there, it wasn't our best performance. No idea why Chris Wood's still playing for us. I'd call him a flop already, to be honest. But yeah, it's very tight. We couldn't lose that game. I think I'm glad we didn't lose.
Yeah.
We should have won. But I think Everton will be the team that's more annoyed considering they played well and remain in the bottom 3.
Yeah, and that's something I was going to say, that Dyche's style of play seems to be a lot better than people are giving him credit for in terms of his Burnley days.
Better players.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe it's a case of better players, but I mean the fact he's got them playing really well so quickly into his Everton career, and they're getting results now that they wouldn't be getting under Lampard.
It's the fact that instantly there hasn't been like an adjustment period.
Yeah, exactly. First game against Arsenal.
Yeah, or a new manager bounce. It's literally they are playing well. Okay, they got battered by Arsenal.
Yeah,
there's no shame in that though.
There isn't any shame, and they have already beat Arsenal. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
And I think they'll stay up based on that performance. I think that the way they're organised, they looked on top. I think Forest were chasing. We really had to grind out the draw.
Yeah.
But Everton looked more comfortable.
I was going to say at Burnley, it felt almost like Dyche's ball was, you'd play 4-4-2, and every player, no matter what position they were playing, looked like they could slot in at centre back.
Yeah.
No matter where.
Yeah.
No matter if you were a winger
Yeah.
or if you were a goalie, you could play centre back.
You could play centre back and then just lump it up to Chris Wood.
Yeah. And even Chris Wood would be able, if he needed to.
Yeah, in the right system, he's a great player, but he's not showing
compared to
right
at Everton, where he's got the diamond, and he's got these players like Demarai Gray.
Yeah, and to be fair, Iwobi's been playing well. I thought he looked great yesterday. It's just they've clearly got a mentality change, and I think that will keep them up.
Yeah, well, we'll go into that later anyway, because we've all done our relegation picks. But
We have.
I guess we'll move on to Manchester City, which is surprising they're this low down in the running order.
Yeah.
But Luke, thoughts?
Take the floor.
2-0 win against Newcastle, big win.
Yeah, big win. Deflated Newcastle, obviously, after losing the cup, but still top 5 team as it stands.
They're 6th, I think.
Oh, top 6 team as it stands. What was I going to say? Yeah, everyone looked good. Bernardo, bossing it. Shame he's going to leave in summer, but is what it is.
He might not with Barcelona's alleged transfer ban.
Well, yeah, I hope so, but also they can't afford him. They won't be able to have his wages. But it's better food over there, so priorities, Bernardo.
I'm sure you can find a nice tapas somewhere.
Yeah,
Manchester.
No, he hates Manchester. It's so bad.
He hates Manchester.
Yeah, he hates it. He says it's rainy. The food's crap.
What? And he's still stayed there,
Yeah, and he's been there.
4 years.
Yeah, but he's wanted to leave for a while.
Yeah.
He only stays because he wins trophies and plays good footy and that. But
plays good footy in that.
Yes. Not Bernardo. Haaland assist.
Very nice.
Very nice. Good little back heel. Phil Foden dribble, takes it on his weak foot, bang, near post.
That was a great goal.
Very good goal. My star boy. I don't know. England's most talented player, I'm hearing Spotlight will say, but
He makes a case.
Foden's not had that good a year this year, though, has he?
Not by his standards.
Yeah, by
his.
He had a
incredibly
good.
high standards.
Yeah.
Such
Sets very high standards.
a young player.
But
yeah.
Well, because I think from this game that it showed that Newcastle just don't have the squad depth. Like,
Oh no.
their substitutions were
Bleak.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Isaac is obviously a great option
But
as
they
a
s-
striker, but
But they still stick with Wilson.
yeah, no, but I mean, like the striker department is fine, but I think the rest of it, like the midfield options they've got, and
Anthony Gordon, John Joe Shelby.
Shelby plays
Yeah.
plays now.
yeah,
Shelby.
come on, we've
Yeah.
literally had
So
segments.
sorry.
We've had segments.
Yeah.
about
I'm
it.
so sorry. I
No,
forget.
I just think in general Newcastle don't have the squad depth to be competing with the other
No.
teams for the top 4.
I think again it's a long-term project at Newcastle.
Oh, of course.
Obviously,
yeah.
City played them at a good time. It's a game that I think, despite Newcastle's good season, City should have won.
Yeah.
It was an opportunity that they took. But so I've got to just elaborate on Callum Wilson. He's got like 1 goal since October. I think
Really?
people forget how bad. I'm pretty sure he's on a really bad run of form.
Wow.
And they've got Isaac on the bench who doesn't play as much.
No.
I think they've got to start starting him if they want to get top 4.
Yeah. It's also though like top 4 wasn't their expectation. Yeah, they put
No.
Not
themselves
at all.
they put themselves into a great position
Eddie
to get
Howe's
it. But
overachieved.
yeah, like even if they get Europa League, that's still a great season for them.
Yeah.
It's part of the
I think
progress.
that's good in a way that like they haven't got pressure on them. It's not
Oh,
like
there
they're gonna
shouldn't be
calling
pressure,
for
no.
anyone's head
No.
if they don't get it. So it's
Not
kind of
at
like
all.
if I'm Eddie Howe, I'm like they could take a few risks. They can change up the tactics.
It's just
and not have to worry too much.
it's just the
think,
frustration though, isn't it?
Yeah, they were on course for because they only lost like once in the first.
And
Like,
they'd conceded like 16.
yeah,
goals or
like they
something.
were really they weren't far behind Arsenal and City at one point,
No.
and now it's just they got to a cup final. It's just a season of near misses. I think it will be for them.
Yeah,
But I don't think there should be too.
Again, rebuild for next year. Players will see the project and be like,
Yeah.
I'd like to play for that.
Yeah,
And
they'll
yeah,
have, yeah.
I'm sure they'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you don't. Also, a case of top 4. You don't want them getting Champions League too early because I still stand by my point. They will get eaten alive in Champions League.
Yeah,
Well, with
absolutely
this current
mauled.
squad, yeah.
Yeah.
but
absolutely.
they'd be able to attract
Exactly.
some great players if they had Champions League. And I also think this is probably the best opportunity to get top 4 that they're likely to have with obviously Liverpool are now in form, but Chelsea are out of the equation this season. But I'd be surprised if next year Chelsea aren't quite strong. So
oh yeah, I've got Chelsea.
I
top
don't
4
know
next
if-
year, so
I don't know if Newcastle are going to have a better opportunity than this season to get a top 4 spot.
That's something to think about.
Because everything has gone their way. They've had an unbelievable season. Obviously, current form aside, but they have overachieved massively.
Yeah, but again, I expect some big marquee signings in the summer.
Yeah, but I mean every top 6 teams.
Of course,
do that.
yeah, of course. But I just think, you can make the same case for Chelsea. You can make the same case for, but it's going to become the Big 7 soon, and
yeah, potentially. But then, as a counterpoint, Burnley had a
Tottenham
season. Burnley had a season where they got into the Europa and they were high up in the table.
Are
at
you
one point.
comparing Burnley to Newcastle?
I'm just saying that it's
Newcastle,
one season.
Yeah. My point is Newcastle have supposedly the richest owners in world football.
Right.
Burnley are just a small club that overachieved.
No, but I'm also saying Newcastle under Pardew, they finished 5th that year. I'm just saying that the drop off can happen.
Yeah, it can happen
very
but
quickly.
I think
We look at Leicester.
Yeah,
Leicester,
of course.
great
But
example.
I think Newcastle. I get City takeover vibes from Newcastle, and I think they're here.
Yeah,
to stay.
there is a lot of talk about that, but
yeah,
I mean, time will tell.
Of course,
Yeah.
I honestly think Newcastle, give it a couple of years and they'll be right up there.
Yeah, that's fair. And then just sticking on the game itself, we were in the pub watching when Haaland was in the corner flag, time wasting in the
That was
91st minute or
funny.
whatever.
Yes.
I loved it, but then I also think if that was against Chelsea, oh my God, I'd be fuming. Because the game's 2-0.
It's one of these.
You don't need to do that, but
at the same,
I think Haaland gets a kick
bit
out
of
of it.
fun. Yeah,
he
it's a bit
does,
of
and
fun.
that's I really rate it. I think at the end of the day, in football, people you love it when it's your team, you hate it when it's against you. That's just how it is.
Imagine if it was against Forest and you needed a result
But
to stay up.
to be honest, similar stuff has happened against us before, and I've been like, you know what? If roles are reversed, I'm loving
put
it.
myself in
Teams have
their
every right
shoes.
to do it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like when the opposition scores and they shush the other fans, I'm all here for it.
Okay, yeah, fair
You need
enough.
character, they're not robots at the end of the day.
No.
Haaland is a robot.
Well, okay,
But yeah, I think he got 4 corners in a row.
Yeah,
that one
that's
And it
season.
was
wild.
the same routine every time.
Yeah.
Joe Linton runs to him, and he just bounces.
It's just
it
so
off
hard
him.
to get the ball. off him.
One of the other Newcastle players has to come and help out.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I thought they fell for it 4 times in a row.
It's
no
just-
one
yeah.
learn.
Yeah,
It's just so clever from Haaland, though. I just don't think there's much you can do in
No,
that
Him
situation.
he's
and
so
Grealish as
strong.
well. Don't disrespect it. He was
yeah.
there as well.
Grealish was
Yeah,
there.
but it was all Haaland, no?
But yeah, but
What
it's
did Grealish do in that situation?
Haaland's on the corner, pass to Grealish, Grealish passes to Haaland, and then bounce off.
Come on, that's all Haaland, no?
Still though,
Well,
he's
Grealish
like-
plays a part.
He's gone to Grealish and they're chatting. They're like, "I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this."
I think that's giving Grealish a lot of credit for very little. I think that's just all Haaland prop for me.
Okay.
He's a bit
But
of a
Alright,
decoy, but yeah,
each their own.
Haaland definitely was. I'd say 70% Haaland.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't really also
It
seen that
takes
side
two.
of
It takes 2 to tango.
it. Does
It
also
does.
time waste.
yeah.
It takes
I
two
just
to
haven't
tango.
seen that side to Haaland before. I've not really watched that much Man City, but I mean, it's good to see. And obviously, he was right up for a scrap. There was one
With
point.
Dan Burn.
Yeah, that was good to
Yeah.
see as well.
Just 2 absolute tanks. going
Well,
up against
Dan
each other.
Burn's 6'7", I think. So
Yeah.
He's taller than
Haaland will have to
Haaland,
look
yeah.
up to him.
Taller.
But
Jesus Christ.
yeah,
So he ran over. He sprinted over.
yeah, that was good to see. But yeah, big win. If you drop points there, and Arsenal won in the last minute, that would have been.
Ooh,
that would've been over.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been here this week, Luke.
No.
I would have sat this one out.
Yeah,
Dom, you
But-
can have it.
It remains wide open.
yeah. But and then another game from the weekend, which I really don't think there's much to say about. But Chelsea scraped a 1-0 lead. A 1-0
Well,
win.
technically a lead, you're right.
Start again. Chelsea scraped a 1-0 win against Leeds. And I mean, I've got a few notes written down. I'd just say nothing special. Scored from a set piece, which is good to see, but I want to see some free-flowing attacking football
Yeah.
that Graham Potter
It's
apparently
not-
does all the time, but hey. It was a good header from Fofana. Leaped quite well.
Yeah.
Like
Really.
a salmon.
Yeah, he did leap like a salmon. But, I mean, and I think what emphasises how much Chelsea were holding on for these 3 points was Graham Potter's substitutions. I've just wrote them down just so I remember who he brought on. He brought on Gallagher, Zakaria, Carney, Madueke and Chalobah. So
Nice.
out of those subs, there's only one attacking one there
He
in
panicked.
Madueke.
He
Yeah,
panicked
he was
like
bringing on
hell.
centre mids for...
Carney can be a counter attack.
Yeah, but he's a midfielder.
He's a midfielder out and out.
Predominantly.
He can play in that.
Well, if we're going for
forward.
attackers though, Chelsea have got a lot better options on the bench.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, no, it was definitely Potter's mindset was, look, we've been shit.
Well,
and we've got to win this game. Result over performance in a game like that.
Yeah, but the media talk before that game was this is a cup final for Chelsea, for Graham Potter's for his managerial career.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've seen that sort of pressure on him, which is why I think he did those substitutions. And it's also the first time that I can remember for ages that Chelsea have gone with a back 3-5, however you see it. But that's frustrating to me.
You play back 4?
Yeah, I play back 4. Yeah.
Oh, I've always got you playing back 5. Yeah.
No, I've been playing back 4 for ages. But so the back 3 or 5, however you see it, is something that over the last 4 or 5 years Chelsea revert to when they're not doing well. Like, well, it was Tuchel's system, yeah, but before Tuchel, when Chelsea needed a result under Lampard, he would go 5 at the back, stuff like that, which it suited the squad then, and I guess it does suit the squad now. But it's just like, if that's not part of how we want to play in the future, which I don't think it is, because I think the plan is to go to a back 4 and be a bit more free-flowing.
Yeah.
It's frustrating to see. And also, I think we have got the Dortmund second leg coming up, which we'll discuss later, but I think they will definitely go back 3 in that game, which is fine, because the margins are so tight in those games that you just want to be compact and stuff. But I was just surprised that we went with a back 3.
Because I thought you played back 5 because of Cucurella, really play in a back 5.
Cucurella doesn't even really play at the minute.
I was going to say, but I thought when he was playing, did you not play back?
Well,
back,
I mean,
back 3?
Chilwell and Cucurella are probably more wing backs than full backs anyway, so it does suit them. But who knows?
Reece James wing back.
Oh, he can play right back easily.
Yeah, I know he can play right back.
He can play absolutely fine. And Ian Maatsen might be part of the team next year, so
he can play in a back 4.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this back 5 fascination might die. Hopefully.
I hope he plays for you.
Yeah.
Or he signs on a perm at Burnley and just.
I was going to say Man City. You love him there as well.
I would like him at Man
City.
He played a back 5 at Brighton. Potter did.
So
did
he?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, back 5 allows you to attack more because your fullbacks can get further forward. So.
Yeah. Which again, you'd have Cucurella and you'd have Tariq Lamptey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so.
But I mean, Potter also played loads of formations at Brighton from what I've read. I think he was always tinkering, and I think he does that at Chelsea a lot as well.
Yeah, he's not really settled at Chelsea, and I think that's a downfall in one way.
Well, I mean, Chelsea's squad's too big, though, to be settled, which I get. But no, just sticking on this one game, I just don't know. I thought the substitutions weren't great. We're holding on against a relegation candidate.
Yeah. Well, you've got to ensure your own safety.
Yeah, we do. That's what I said to you, Luke, wasn't it?
That
if we had lost that game, we're getting dragged into that relegation scrap. So, I mean, nothing special, but
a win's a win.
A win's a win. And some other news that's came out recently regarding Chelsea is Mason Mount's getting linked with Liverpool a lot.
How bizarre.
It is bizarre, but he is such a Klopp player, hard worker.
Yeah. Do you know what? He would work well in that Liverpool team.
That would be heartbreaking.
Like a Milner replacement.
That would be heartbreaking for me if Mason Mount went to Liverpool, considering he's an academy graduate. The conversation at the minute is that there's negotiations with the contract aren't going well because he's one of the lowest earners in the squad at the minute, which is surprising considering he's one of the biggest names in the team. But I mean, I still hope he stays because he's not had a good season. But if you go back to the season before that he had and what he showed in a Chelsea shirt, he has been a very good player for us.
The thing is, who in the Chelsea team has had a good season?
Kepa, Thiago Silva.
Yeah,
Reece James.
Not
many.
Reece James has been injured though for most of it.
Yeah, but when he's played, he's.
So I don't. So yes, you can say Mount's had a poor season, but when the whole team isn't playing well, I guess.
It's hard to actually.
Manager.
And one thing that Gallagher did in the game, I don't know if even you saw it, but there was an incident where he was literally just chasing the ball down, and the ball hit the corner flag, stays in play. He gets up and he fizzes it into the box.
Yes, I did.
It's unbelievable, and that's what he wants. He wants to fight.
Yeah,
passion for the badge.
Yeah,
genuinely, that is what you want to see, especially in a season like this where Chelsea aren't playing for much unless they
get dragged in. It's
unless they knock Dortmund out.
Oh, of course.
But at the minute, I don't know. That's what the fans want to see, rather than like a Ziyech who wouldn't do that. He'd just shrug his shoulders and be thinking about PSG still.
Yeah. That was great.
But yeah, so I mean, I guess that's all the roundup of the fixtures. And then what we want to move on to next, which we've briefly talked about already, is our relegation picks.
Oh, yes.
I can start first if you guys want with
Go on.
the 3 teams that I'm predicting to go down. And the table is so tight that It is a bit of a guess.
It
I
could
can't
be
lie.
any
Like,
of the bottom
I,
seven.
No.
I don't know, but this is kind of what I think and also kind of want it to be. I'm saying West Ham are going to get relegated in 18th position.
Okay. Oh, you're not going from 20th.
No.
Okay.
18th West Ham, 19th Leeds, 20th Bournemouth. Only one of those teams is currently in the bottom three, which is
Hold
Bournemouth.
on. Wow, can I just ask you about Southampton?
Yeah, you think Southampton's staying up?
They beat Leicester. They beat Chelsea. That interim manager's not done badly.
He's doing a good job, but wow.
And I also think they've got some good players. They do. Bazunu, Ward-Prowse.
Need to.
Bazunu.
What?
Samuel Adozie.
Yeah.
No, that I look at that Southampton
Romeo
squad,
Lavia.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
he's good.
He is good, actually.
I look at that Southampton and I just think championship standard to a T.
Yeah, it is. It's not good. It's not
Yeah,
strong
however,
quality.
can I throw to you Huddersfield Town, when they stayed up in the Premier League, their squad was very average.
Yeah,
They were very
it
championship
was-
and they stayed up for
yeah,
1 year.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There's anomalies like Leicester winning the goddamn league. but,
Yeah,
like,
I just think...
With that mid
with
squad.
yeah.
No, I just think, though, like, West Ham, they just... If they keep with David Moyes for much longer, I wouldn't be surprised if they got relegated.
Because
it's just not
I
working.
genuinely don't know if they'll sack him. It's weird.
Yeah, but as soon as the fans turn you, surely you've got to go. Obviously, they're seeing-
Yeah, but I feel like because of... I think the board will see what he did last season. They'll give him a bit more time. It's logical to say West Ham.
I was gonna say, it's a case of with Moyes, the fans have turned on him before. He won them back, but now they turn on him again.
Yeah, but that was also like the fans turned on him. He left, then he got hired again, and they were quite against him. And then he started doing so well that they're like, "Okay, you're sick. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to back him,
Does
so-
his luck run out a bit?
yeah." But so they're my bottom three.
Okay.
What,
Stayed as
what
well.
about you, Luke?
Okay, I'll just get them out so I remember. So, in 18th position, I have got Chelsea. No, I'm joking. 18th, I've got. Okay, all right, okay, cool.
What?
18th, I've got Southampton.
Okay.
19th, I've got Everton, and 20th, I've got Bournemouth. Okay, can I give a reason why I don't have West Ham?
Yeah.
Sure.
Off your David Moyes point.
Yeah.
I think they're going to sack Moyes. New manager bounce is going to keep him up. That's what I've got.
Okay.
Got it written
Yeah,
down.
very
That's from last
dependent
night.
on if someone comes
Got
in.
it from last night.
Yeah. No,
So,
fair
yeah.
enough. But yeah, I don't know. I literally can't see Everton going down. That's the one that I'd probably be most confident with.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well,
But then again, they are in the conversation, like same way that West Ham are.
Of course.
I don't know. I just think
You've been saying it since the start of the
I
season.
have.
haven't you?
I have.
Everton, yeah. I'm just like looking at how Sean Dyche's record. Yesterday's performance, I saw a team that was playing for the badge.
Yeah, exactly. Compared to West Ham.
So yes, they could go down. I think you could argue it's a lazy point, but Sean Dyche, yeah, they're going to stay up. But I think
He's got that credit in the
He's
bank,
got that
though,
credit,
yeah.
and now he's got a better squad than he had at Burnley.
Yeah.
I think that's the turning point.
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
I do still have them going down, but again, I wouldn't.
They'll-
I'm not surprised if they stay up.
Yeah, I think they'll make a good go
Yeah,
of it.
fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
They won't. They'll go down with a fight if they do go down.
Yeah,
They're not going to just be like, ugh,
yeah,
whatever.
roll over.
Yeah.
I'm also surprised that you have Southampton as high as you do, to be fair. I thought you'd have them.
No, I don't have them.
19th,
I don't have
maybe.
them rock bottom. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, no, fair enough.
Just 18th.
And what about you, Reece? What's your bottom three?
20th, I got Bournemouth. I mean, it goes without saying, Championship squad, they've really dropped off.
We've all got them going.
You know,
rock bottom.
even when they supposedly had an upset win in them against Arsenal, kickoff tactic was great. You should
Oh,
have
it
seen,
was
you should
great.
have seen how
Yes.
many players were lined up at the
We were
halfway
talking
line.
about that.
Like, so, again, I think every team will give it a good go, as will Bournemouth. But again, they didn't win, and I just think they haven't got much in them. 19th Southampton, they're crap again. Like they've got that guy, that Spanish guy they've got
Yeah.
as caretaker
Interim,
manager. He's doing a great job, and I think he'll revitalise them a bit. But again, don't have much in them. 18th, sorry, I've got Leeds. I just think I look at the teams above them, and I'm like, what have they got that the teams above them don't have? I think Forest will just narrowly stay up. I literally
really?
think 17th.
Yeah.
Really?
I think it'll go to the last day, and I think Forest just have that extra bit.
They have that Kalo Navas in there.
Yeah. I think we've just about got enough because I don't know why I brought Forest into it.
And it's also funny, Reece, that
but
you've been saying that Forest were going to be sweet all year.
Yeah,
and now they draw to Everton and
I think there's a few must-win games that we've drew. I think our home record keeps us up. Away record is what would send us down. Fun fact for you: 3 away goals all season, each of them against the current bottom 3. Right? If that's not, I think that's what could be our downfall.
And you've also got Tottenham next.
Tottenham next. We'll lose at Tottenham.
Nah, easy win.
No, we won't. I promise you, we won't beat Tottenham. Well, okay, promise Liverpool. But we'll come back to this next week, I guess. But Leeds will go down. Again, they'll put up a fight. I think Grazia's a decent appointment, but where are the goals coming from? Where I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't see where Leeds.
Rutter.
Johnson.
Leeds.
Leeds.
Oh no,
Jorginho Rutter.
Wait, what?
Joe Gellicott. Jorginho Rutter.
Jorginho Rutter.
Yeah, but
Joffy.
again, at Forest we have goals in us. Johnson, Gibbs White will create everything like he does. But I think with Leeds, I don't know. I just don't see it.
Jorginho Rutter.
Yeah.
My
boy.
French star boy.
Who plays under 21s for Leeds.
Yeah.
He played at the Bridge, to be fair. But yeah, and then so obviously this week as well is the Champions League second leg for Chelsea, Dortmund, Benfica, Club Brugge, Bayern Munich, PSG, and Tottenham, AC Milan. With Chelsea, Dortmund, immediately after that game finished, I thought, okay, we've got enough about us to turn this around. I've been changing my opinion on how I actually feel. I will be confident, like when the game kicks off, but that could quite easily change. And you probably haven't even seen, but Dortmund's first choice keeper is injured now, so they're going to be playing the second choice keeper.
And he had a mad game as well.
Yeah, he had a great game.
So Chelsea can create the same chances against.
However, it's very typical Chelsea to
Yeah.
their first choice keeper gets injured and then their second choice keeper does a madness. Like I remember we played West Ham a few years ago and that David Martin geezer, their third choice, dropped an absolute clinic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am confident. It's a big blow that Thiago Silva's not there. We also don't score goals, so I don't know why I'm confident. But I just think
big game.
Stamford Bridge on European nights, when it needs to be, can be electric. And it could be about time that Kai Havertz does something. That's my prediction. Goal against the German opposition.
Yeah. I think it'll be tight, but I think Dortmund will win, I'm afraid.
Yeah, fair enough.
4 wins in 19 for Chelsea, I believe. I just don't see why. But your argument's totally valid.
I'm going to go 0-0 and Dortmund
win on
aggregate.
I think Chelsea win in extra time.
Okay. I can see it going to extra time.
But yeah, so there's that game, and then Benfica Club Brugge, 2-0 Benfica, so that's
that game,
done and dusted.
I mean, me and Charlie have said it since the start. Benfica underdog run. They're not going to win it, but they'll go far.
Well, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they get in the next round.
Yeah.
And then Bayern Munich PSG is 1-0 to Bayern Munich. That is still
that game.
Anything could happen there, though.
Yeah. It's too close to call, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is also potentially Messi's last ever Champions League game if they lose and he goes to the MLS.
Maybe, so there's a lot resting on that.
So yeah, it's a bit of a legacy game for him.
Yeah, I think he's there's a lot of pressure on him. I think Bayern will win. I think that will go to extra time as well.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, because I said before, my Champions League prediction was PSG to win the whole thing. And that was before I knew there was injuries and stuff, but I've not actually checked. But I think a fully fit PSG team, which hopefully it is for the sake of just entertainment, I think they could win there, but Bayern Munich are obviously a great team.
Well, I don't know, Bayern, they've dropped Cancelo. Don't know if you know this.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
After him being all, I want to play first team football every week.
Yeah, it's back.
God, he sounds very Mancunian for a Portuguese guy.
Yeah.
Can't do a Portuguese accent. I'm not going to attempt to. But yeah, he's been dropped. But, it's sort of worked out in Bayern's favour in terms of results. Oh, no.
I mean, he probably starts against PSG, though, I reckon. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Definitely.
But yeah, and then obviously Tottenham are 1-0 down to AC Milan. They're both out of form, so that's also a really
That
hard
could-
game to
Yeah,
predict.
hard to call. I think just because I don't know what AC's form's like the last few
it's
weeks, but Tottenham's doesn't fill me with much confidence.
I don't know, maybe they need that win against European royalty to go into the
Yeah.
Champions League.
Yeah, and I mean Harry Kane could turn up. I'd be surprised if AC Milan knocked Tottenham out.
Yeah, who knows? It's again, it'll be an exciting game. Could go to extra time. Can I just add a point onto Club Brugge Benfica?
Go for it.
But Club Brugge have Scott Parker in charge. He's not doing very well. He's got like 3 wins in 12 games,
Yeah, he's
and
bad.
so we'll add that to. So I just thought we hadn't talked about it much, so
No, we haven't.
I'll just
actually.
drop it in there.
Yeah, it's quite bad we don't really talk about Club Brugge results.
No,
We should
yeah,
follow
we've
the
got
Belgian
a
league.
big Club Brugge following here. So
Club Brugge still got Charles de Kelly. I think they do. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Their striker. He's young, Belgian.
Fair
maybe
enough.
he'll score.
Maybe he will.
Maybe he will.
But
Maybe
yeah,
he won't.
So
So-
just spreading the love a bit because
Yeah.
we kind of went over that quite quickly.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's not really much to say.
Very
but-
in-depth football coverage here.
Yeah, but so yeah, they're all this week's Champions League games, and we'll go through Liverpool, Real Madrid next week, and Man City, Leipzig, and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I think one thing that we want to end on, and I'll let you take the floor first, Reese, is how do you define a big club?
Well, 2 stars on the badge. It's always irked me a bit when people say, "Oh, this team should be in the Premier League," or even when we were in the Championship, for the record. I think the biggest indicator of club size is where you're at now,
Mm-hmm.
right? People who say City are not a big club do not know what they're talking about. Prestige comes into it. I think that you have to level out the factors a bit, because obviously people say, "Oh, I don't know, Forest, Villa, big. We are big clubs. Leeds, big clubs, because of their history. City are creating their history now. We're living in their history. There was a time where these clubs didn't have history, and it had to be made." And I think, you can talk about Moneyball. That's modern football for you, I'm afraid. And I think, yes, European prestige does come into it, which is why, which is where Forest has made its name off of. But again, there's levels to it, and I'd argue right now, Forest fans are going to hate me. City are a bigger club than Forest.
Really?
Yeah, I really do believe that. You've got, like where you're at now is is the biggest factor for me, and that overrides history. Obviously, Leeds are a big club. They've not won a European trophy, but they were arguably robbed when they did make a European final. I don't know if you guys know that story. Played Bayern, 1975.
Okay.
The referee was allegedly paid off, right? But Leeds could have won a European. Should that determine if they're a big club? Like, I don't know. But that's my piece on it. I think current state. Yes, Forest are a big club. But again, the arguments for big clubs need to be evened out a bit. It's not a linear thing.
There's no cut-off point in history where it's like, oh, you're making.
Yeah, sorry, you weren't good in the 80s. Your time's gone now.
Yeah.
You can't be big now.
Yeah,
Ultimately, you need to be open to change when it comes to big clubs. Again, I'll never call Forest a small club. We are one of the biggest clubs in England.
If you've been a big club,
you've got that.
You keep it.
Yeah, you keep it, and
why
it's
Aston Villa are still in the hierarchy, because they have been. They were a big club in the past.
Exactly. Before Fergie took over at Man United, Villa were more successful than them.
Mm-hmm.
I found that out when I was researching for the quiz. But yeah, I think history is a big part of it, but I think it's almost level with where you're at now. And I know some Forest fans could give me shit for it, but can't be biased.
Hopefully they don't listen.
Yeah, sorry. This week you just avoid it. We're still massive.
Well, what about you, Luke? Do you agree with all that?
I agree with all that. I'd say, again, I'm saying about there isn't a cut-off point in history. You can make history now. I don't know. Depends how big of a thing you put into it. One argument I always hear is fan base. If you don't have fans in flipping every corner of the globe, you're not a big club. I think that's a pointless argument.
Comes into global recognition, but
to me, it doesn't really matter. In terms of, I've said this on Twitter, so I guess I've gone on record saying it.
Yeah.
I said I was arguing with some Liverpool or Man United fan, can't remember, and I've said I would genuinely rather have a half-empty Etihad than have flipping, I don't know, a bunch of international fans that don't actually know much about club, but they're just there,
Day trippers.
Yeah, day trippers and that.
No, of course you
I'd
want loyal.
rather
That's
I'd
the
rather
thing.
have loyal core support and make a bit of noise.
No, I get that.
I don't know.
I think I like the fact that the Premier League, because the Premier League would not be the best league in the world without a global fan base. But I get what you're saying. I think my worry has been again, I'm bringing Forest into it, but if the rate we're spending at, obviously we're looking to push up, and if we ever did break into the elite, I'm not saying we will, but if we did, I would worry that the atmosphere we currently have at our games, which is unbelievable by the way, would get drowned out by just and I just think I don't mind international fans, but I think you need that, like you say, that core support.
Yeah. Well, again, I don't mind it in small doses. Obviously, like I remember there was a Accrington Stanley fan on Soccer AM a few years ago, and he was from like Malaysia. And he was like the only Accrington Stanley fan there.
Yeah, that's
when we went Chef Wednesday and we had
that Danish guy.
Yeah, the Danish guy. I don't mind it. Like, I don't know. It's not me being xenophobic or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It does sometimes. It affects atmosphere, and I don't know. It's
well,
just,
obviously, local.
It's an argument for.
Because that's the thing.
Big club.
Football clubs shouldn't be a tourist attraction.
No.
At the end of the day, they are something that you stick with. And I think my problem with, you could say this isn't just international fans. You've got glory supporters who bounce between clubs. Mm-hmm. That's where my issue lies. Let's say you pick United or Liverpool or City because they're good, and then they fall off and you stick with them. I have time for that. But what I don't have time for is, it's cool to support them. I can get more clout on social media tweeting about Man United. I don't support them anymore.
Mark Goldbridge.
Mark Goldbridge, who's from Nottingham, by the way.
He's a Forest fan.
You're a Forest fan, Goldbridge. Don't deny it. But I like Mark Goldbridge for the record. But anyway.
I just want to go back to your earlier point, though, Luke, how you're saying you would rather a half-empty Etihad
that's loud and loyal.
No, it's not going to be loud though if it's half empty. But if we're literally talking half empty, it's a terrible look for Manchester City. Because that's the point I was going to raise. So global fan base definitely does play a factor.
I think it comes into
how big your club is, because it's how well supported you are. Like Man United have fans everywhere. Them and Real Madrid are one of the biggest clubs. Like, I know Man City don't have the problem anymore in terms of attendance or like empty seats, but like, let's say 10 years ago, is that fair to say that there was a lot of pictures going around of
pictures of it? But
empty seats. And 10 years ago, Man City were still one of the best teams in the league, playing some great football, having some of the best players. I think to have all these factors and you still can't fill your stadium at that point.
Yeah, but you've also got to remember we were the second team in Manchester. I want to say in Manchester. I don't know about you. I'd say it's at a push 60-40. It's probably not. It's probably more 70-30. Yeah. But you got to remember, and there's only a certain amount of people in the area.
Yeah, of course. And the thing about Man City is that the fan base, is a working class fan base.
It's working class fan. We can't afford to go every week. I can't.
True, but I just mean, I don't know. I think if you're going to class yourself as one of Europe's elite, which obviously Man City are in terms of the football they play, the players they have, all that stuff. Fan base, fan base now, fair enough, but I think as well, like global fan base is fine. Like you can be from America or whatever and show passion for the badge.
Absolutely. That's the thing. Like I love the fact that again, my club has fan groups all over the world. It's Forest make a big deal out of it, and
that's something to be proud of.
I actually love it. It's more that when you only find out who a club is through success, and then. It's hard to explain. I think there just needs to be an element of loyalty there.
Yeah.
Because again, if you live in I don't know,
Toronto.
Name me an you've got the MLS. Like, okay, I watch ice hockey. Mm-hmm. I support a team in America and I support a team here. So I'd be a hypocrite to say that So I do need to acknowledge that.
Okay.
So I think I get it from that point because I know what it's like to be in a country where the sport's not as popular.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm not one of the the whole support your local thing.
No.
I'd encourage you to support a team you're connected to, but I can see why you'd be drawn towards it.
It depends on the connection though, because again, you get Man United fans in the south who are from like Surrey and that who are there. Oh, my grandma had their first kiss in Manchester, so they support Man United
when it's in England.
Yeah.
If you've got a Prem team nearby, because I know fans in Nottingham who support Liverpool, who support United, and it's like You've got a massive club on your doorstep.
Yeah.
That's when I'm a bit like.
I told you about the Liverpool fans on the train that were going back to Nottingham, and we were all
God, were they?
Yeah, and we were like having a go at that. We were like, why don't you support Forest? And they were like, because we said we were getting off at Sheffield. We were like, why don't you support Sheffield? And we were all, we're not from Sheffield. We just go here for uni. Like, we had a justified reason, but they were actual like Nottingham.
From Nottingham.
They were from Nottingham. They didn't have an ounce of scouting them.
Yeah, it's just like, and no doubt a lot of people have turned to us now because we're promoted, and it's like,
yeah,
where were you when we were shit?
Every club has that though.
Of course, yeah, no, of course, it's not
Arsenal.
exclusive to Arsenal, yeah. So
Stoke City.
It's weird. It's not even a problem with international fans. It's more how people move the goalposts.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get across.
I also think that you do that. You do move the goalposts. Like, my definition of how you define a big club is going to be completely different to if I supported, I don't know, Man United or Arsenal.
Actually, we haven't asked you, Andy.
Yeah, well, I don't know, because it's hard. It is very hard to define. But I think, like you were saying, how good you are now, what you've won in the last. I don't know even a time period for it, but like
10 years, 15.
We're all, well, I'm 22, you guys are 21. So in our lifetime, we've not seen Nottingham Forest, Leeds, Aston Villa be these huge clubs. So
you just get told about it.
Yeah. So for me, like, it doesn't really matter to me what Aston Villa did or what Arsenal did when your granddad was alive. Not alive, but like when he was young. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think league titles, cups, European cups, they all play a big factor in how big you are as a club.
Trophies.
Yeah, trophies, fan base.
No matter when they were won.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the first factor.
But, so like, there's always a debate on Twitter and online stuff about like who's the biggest club in London, and bias. But I would say Chelsea, because
Chelsea.
In my lifetime I've seen Arsenal win one league title in 2003, the Invincibles, cool. Yeah. But they might win one this year. That'll be their second. Chelsea have won 6, I think. Yeah. In that same period. Chelsea have won 2 Champions Leagues.
If we're going overall, then it's Arsenal.
Yeah, overall, but that's what I'm saying. I don't care that Arsenal won a league title in black and white. Didn't even have colour TVs. But like Chelsea have won 5 European Cups. Yeah, in 20 years. Beating Arsenal in Baku 4-1 in their biggest game of their last decade.
Yeah, that's
I don't know, it is biased,
it's
I
valid,
guess.
It's valid. The thing is, like, because the thing is at Forest, we have it drilled into us that we've won 2 European Cups.
I noticed that when I went to the Forest ground, the City ground.
Yeah, did you notice before the game that we're
I sent you a picture,
the
2 European Cups.
We put it on the stands. Like,
that's good though, that's how it should be.
We do not shut up about it to the point where...
It's something to be proud of.
Yeah, it is. And I think that we've used that to ensure that we keep some prestige in the footballing world.
Yeah.
And it's
don't let anyone forget it.
Yeah.
I wish Chelsea had stuff like that around, to be fair.
Do they not?
Again,
No.
you've got
they have pictures, pictures on the wall and stuff, but
if you go to the City ground, you
no, I know you don't. Yeah, you don't.
It.
Maybe in a few years, or maybe if you have like a bit of a banter era period, or like go down,
bring out history.
Just,
you say go down.
Not going down, but you have like a bit of a down period where
like
you're
now.
a bit like, this is one season. Like if how you are now for the next 10 years, then you'll be like, oh, but we got 2 European Cups, so
yeah. I mean that's the way anyway, I see it. But yeah. So I mean, I guess the most important factor for how you define a big club is what you've won.
Yeah,
like
I'd say so.
Yeah, obviously anyone saying Manchester City aren't a big club,
they don't know what they're talking about.
Get in the bin, man.
Yeah,
but
they obviously are.
But then I don't know. You do also have to sort of appreciate Forest and them man.
Yeah, man. The others. Okay, question. Who is the biggest club in England?
Man United.
Man United, then Liverpool.
Yeah.
Man United. Okay.
It's absolutely, and they argue between themselves. But
Yeah.
I'm not
Of course. I totally agree with what you're saying. It's just funny that United have won not a lot in the last decade.
Yeah, and they're still.
But they've still got that.
Yeah, well, it's because when we were growing up, they were
of course.
Everything.
I guess to us it'll be different to what like your granddad says, or
it'd be different to a kid. Well, a kid now would probably say Liverpool.
City, Liverpool.
No, say City probably.
Well, no, if they'd say like overall,
But I guess they'd be aware of Liverpool's history.
they'd be aware of the 6 times and the 19, blah blah blah.
So they'd probably say Liverpool.
They'd probably say Liverpool.
In the world, they'd say Real Madrid, I reckon.
Oh yeah, Real
without
Madrid.
question, because they dominated the last decade.
Yeah, whether when we were growing up, I'd say Barcelona.
I'd say, but when I think of biggest club in the world, Real Madrid comes to mind.
Yeah, I
question.
think Real Madrid.
Yeah. Well, now I think them, but like growing up, Barca were like the top team.
Yeah.
You'd see kids with Barca's shirts.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I definitely see more Barca shirts than Real shirts, which again moves the goalposts a bit. But yeah, interesting topic.
It's an interesting
It's
debate.
not something you can really come to a conclusion on.
No,
too
there is
much.
no right or wrong
there isn't.
answer.
So,
But,
yeah.
but I mean, there are some. Like if you're saying that
Yeah.
Notts County are the biggest team in the world, then
Yeah.
you've got to have your hard drive checked.
Yeah. Not even the biggest club on next to the River Trent. So. But yeah, no. It's let us know your thoughts.
I thought you were going to go for a bit more of an obscure team.
Like who?
Yeah.
I don't know,
Bournemouth.
Forest Green,
Yeah. Not even.
massive club.
Yeah.
Mansfield
Swindon.
Town. You've said Swindon.
Yeah,
so
that's
many
why I
times,
said it.
yeah.
I've said it twice.
Yeah.
Shout out
Alright.
Swindon.
Wrexham.
Anything else?
Shrewsbury.
We're just gonna start naming every team. in
I
the
don't know.
world.
No, I
We
think
named the
that's all.
whole 92.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to.
And more.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
That should be a segment 1 week. In the quiz,
that's
Andy
the
named the whole 92.
Struggling after the top 6. I don't know any other teams.
Proper armchair fan.
Oh yes. But yeah, okay. That's all we've got time for this week.
Yeah. Again, remember to like and comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow our personal accounts on Twitter.
Yeah.
They're all linked. And
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.